So I keep refreshing it to look for it. I'm like, what?
It's showing live on my
Oh,
thingy.
okay. I'll refresh
Showing
again.
live on mine too, but oh, there we go.
Yeah, we're linked and I'm live. Yep.
Oh, there we are. Okay.
Live on Twitch. We're good on that.
Oh, we're
and
still separated. Huh.
and live on Substack. There we go.
Okay. I don't know which chat to go into.
Oh, go into Sushi's original chat. I just do the oh yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Accept.
All right.
And so we're all just using the combined thing, but I just do a backup live on my profile specifically, just for like video editing and stuff.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mind Haven. Today we are discussing current affairs and managing our crap, basically, with returning guest Natasha K and newcomer Evie Bateman. And I'm Nero D, and this is Tig. And Sushi is not able to participate today, is under the weather, but we're all glad to see you here. Tamara, Kimmy, and Julie, and Richard. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
So anyways, this is part 4 of current affairs or current events. And why don't we get started? Tig, do you want to do the disclaimer?
Yeah, sure. All right, let's see. Sorry, I'm like booting up all of a sudden. I'm so sorry about that.
Okay.
Just reloaded for a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. So, hello everyone. Welcome to Mind Haven. We are a weekly podcast, a safe space for discussing mental health topics and stories about mental health conditions from those with lived experience. We are not mental health professionals. If you are in crisis, please do not DM the host or any participants. Instead, you can see the sources and links in the tickers below for supports and resources. With that being said, let's get started, shall we?
All right. All right, so we've got a lot going on, as well, per usual, in the last few years. Today, I was reading about how Pete Hegseth has made rank deprioritized for chaplains in the Army, and how they are officers first, I guess, or chaplains first and officers second, something like that. But basically, they're not allowed to show their rank insignia anymore. Like, I was reading that on Military Times, and that kind of gave me a what the F moment.
Yeah, very on par for Hegseth, though.
I mean,
he's basically trying to turn the U.S. military into Warhammer. I swear to God.
I thought it was all of Christ for all of life. So wouldn't he want to elevate the chaplain?
Yeah, I don't
you
know.
would think,
You're a Christian?
but apparently Mormons aren't Christians anymore, according to the new list they sent out.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, they literally just Pete has set out a list of approved and recognized religious faiths for the U.S. military about like 2 weeks ago, and Mormonism is not on there, and neither is Catholicism.
Besides Christianity, what's on there?
The individual like sects in terms of respected faiths, 8 different flavors of evangelicalism, and a few different other flavors of Protestantism. Not much else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Southern Baptist, whatever Baptist. Yeah.
I just posted the link in the chats for the Military Times article. Yeah,
Thank
so
you.
the headline is Hegseth removes rank insignia from military chaplains. And
I think he's going to make them wear their like religious symbol or something.
Oh.
Well, then he's like reduced them from over 200 to like 31.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of ridiculous
for everybody. I don't even know.
I mean, the purpose of like having a chaplain in the military is basically. I had a friend of mine who was whose dad was a chaplain for the longest time. He was a decent guy, honestly. The way my friend described it is basically like a Jesus therapist, for lack of a better word. Basically, just someone who goes in and talks to someone. Basically, just someone like a mental health support, similar to like a chaplain you'd find at a hospital or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's the same gig. But the fact that they're not putting that, I didn't know about that, Neuro, actually. The fact that they're not requiring the rank for chaplains anymore, that is
not allowing.
They're not allowing the rank to show the rank for the chaplains anymore.
Yeah.
I
replacing it with
my chaplain a lot.
Right. That's what doesn't make sense to me, because I feel like if they're so hardcore, white Christian nationalism, wouldn't you want to, elevate their status along with the fact that they're a chaplain? Like, I'm trying to understand, I guess, what's the motivation behind not allowing it? Would they have some reason? And I'm just curious what it is.
I think it's a kind of destabilizing thing, the flood the zone kind of tactic. Like a lot of that stuff is arbitrary, right? There's no rationale behind it. I mean, the supposed rationale was their chaplains first and officers second.
Yeah.
It does appear that way, but that may not be the case. If chaplains are no longer allowed to state their rank, then if they protest or defy an order from any number of soldiers, then that would be means of purging them directly from it. It's means of
good point.
Like snap. They're trying to smoke out dissenters. That's what it is. They're smoking out dissenters or non-believers, whatever the hell. That's what it is. Because if you're a chaplain and you're like a higher rank, then if you're not allowed to show it, no one's allowed to believe you, and they can basically do or sanction you however you want at that point, because your authority no longer matters.
That's a good hypothesis.
Yeah.
I think supporters are framing it as like a religious, we're trying to restore religious liberty after years of secularizing it, and
religious liberty.
I'm just so over it, I guess. I don't know. Like all this stuff that Pete Hegseth is doing is just so on par for him. And I mean, it's expected to get worse. I mean, the longer this person is in charge of our military, we're going to start seeing more and more stupid things. I know that the military, that they did defy his flu shot order. So they're now getting the flu shot because too many soldiers are getting sick. So
they didn't say they couldn't, right? They just said it wasn't required. But it's like, in that case, I don't understand that logic either. Is he trying to kill off the military? I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
The historical irony is incredible here. I mean, the influenza virus, it was a massive pandemic that was spread primarily because of World War I and closed unsanitary barracks all over Europe.
Yeah,
that's why I'm like, is this their goal? And if so, are they just trying to implant like IDF soldiers here instead of American soldiers? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the purpose of killing off our military?
They don't see it that way. They genuinely believe it, I think.
Well,
Natasha, you might be onto something.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, this is just me.
The Greater Israel is supposed to absorb the United States.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost in an actual contractual marriage here, and I know that our soldiers are trained with the IDF. Some of them are. So I don't understand if how killing them off is going to make us the strongest nation in the world. And obviously they have to know. You have to know that getting the flu and it spread, like, people are going to die. It's going to morph into other things. People are going to die, and I just don't understand the logic behind trying to kill off our soldiers unless they have a huge replacement. But do they have that many IDF soldiers to
It's not even that, honestly. I think this is honestly, like, this is maybe a little bit more pathology minded here, but there is a stark disconnect between how we recognize illnesses in the modern day, like how the average person could recognize illnesses in the modern day based on how horrible they were in the past with the advance in modern medicine. I mean, when the influenza virus first hit the world stage, people were drowning in their own fluids. They were turning blue, and you had piles and piles of corpses with blue. They were blue in the face because they were drowning in their own fluids. It was that bad. But we don't see that now. We see, like, that was the flu? What the hell? Because we have the treatments and we have the vaccines, and the herd immunity has affected it, but it's also really kind of desensitized us to the horror that it actually was.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason, like, we have there's a reason that, like, modern sanitation is so important nowadays. Like, but we take it for granted. We take modern sanitation for granted because when's the last time you heard someone die of dysentery or cholera?
Right.
Not often, but it can happen. So that's why I can't.
I know
It
we've
can
got
happen.
mumps here in Texas now. I mean, it's starting to run rampant, which is kind of
Mumps.
Mumps and rubella.
Nice.
See,
insane.
all
You're just
this
trying to
flooding
get rid
the
of
zone
MMR.
kind of thing just makes me glad. That one thing that I do before I get up in the morning is I just lay there and let my mind wander for a while before I do anything else, before I get out of bed. Usually my bladder forces me to get up at some point, and that's also a thing I do at night. I don't sit there with a book or anything like that. I'll just lay there and let my mind wander. I wouldn't say it's meditative, but it just lets my mind process things, I guess. And that's helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the same thing, but I put my AirPods in and listen to Tibetan bowls.
That is beautiful sounding, honestly.
It is. It just, the whole mind, just everything just calms down and you get in that, Zen zone. It's great.
I've been addicted to Stardew Valley with the same thing. I started playing like 2 weeks ago after having the game in my Steam library for almost like months now, and I have saw like 150 hours in the game just from starting playing like 2 weeks ago. It is a problem.
What game
I have
is
a problem. Stardew Valley. It's a lovely indie game. I love it so much.
That's funny.
It is like it is funny because it's also like a very peaceful game. It's like one of those games you like play like cozy games, like The Sims or something like that. It's a very lovely game, and I have been just like my friend would actually DM me on Discord. It's like, Tig, it's 3 a.m. What are you doing?
Mine was Bejeweled in my MySpace days because, first of all, I want to petition that we bring MySpace back because
Same with our old pages.
Yes.
I want everything intact.
Everything.
my MySpace back.
I don't think I want my old handle back. But
I got my kids hooked on Bejeweled. It was just, and then there was another game. I think it was like Scrabble or something where you can
Words with friends.
Words with
You
friends.
play with friends. Like you play these Scrabble games with my mom and I used to play back and forth all the time and come up with these crazy words. But those were fun kind of games.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah, my friends don't like me playing Scrabble with them anymore because I'll Tig, you can't use words in Thai or Japanese for Scrabble.
Well, does it allow you?
I don't care.
Word,
English only. I was like, what are you doing? What kind of English only? What kind of
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Can everybody see the
Words
comment
with
that Stuart made?
Oh my god, yes.
Jumping back
see
to
it. Yeah, JFK Jr. and Hegseth are headed for a cage fight at the White House.
Oh yeah.
Let them do it. Hopefully,
Are they
they'll kill
actually?
each other.
Is that real? Are they actually fighting each other? I would love to watch
Let them do
that.
it. Let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who would win because Pete would probably be drunk. So, not sure.
Yeah.
Drunk on one hand, you have filled with steroids on the other hand.
Yeah.
Steroids and coke.
Yeah.
Coke.
Mitch McConnell made it back into the feed. He was gone for a little while, and then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Hey, has anyone heard from Mitch McConnell? Did he?"
I feel like Satan and God are arguing over who gets to take him. They're like arguing over like the pet that nobody wants in like a divorce.
Yeah.
Well,
He's like, I don't want this plant. I don't want this plant. You take it. No.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's elderly abuse.
It is.
Yeah, he shouldn't be.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, it's just not good. Even who's the woman that has like Alzheimer's right now? And
there's like
they still
which
wheel her
one?
in for votes.
which one? Honestly,
She a Democrat?
I'm confused on which one because there's like four different names.
There was a Democrat like a year ago, and I hope it's not the same one. My God, that should be illegal.
They were like wheeling her in to vote, and then
I think
she back out.
But there was that one story of like someone on the Republican side. Her son actually, her son was voting in her stead because it turns out the Congresswoman had been in a nursing home with dementia in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wild.
Oh, rampant voter fraud, my ass, please.
That's fraud.
Mm-hmm.
That's fraud.
I'm starting to realize just, it's not just this Congress. It's always been Congress. There's always been this going on. We just, they were just really good at hiding it. And now everything is just being called to the front of the classroom and everyone's like pointing fingers like, hey, did you see this person? Hey, did you see that person? And now we've got so many eyes on it that we're starting to see all the fucked up things that are actually happening in Congress that have been happening this whole time.
I mean, like the boomer generation is the largest generation in human history right now. They're like the numbers they have alone population wise are huge. And given how like the vast majority of people in like any kind of political office are from the boomer generation, which means they have been in power since possibly the 60s prior.
Yeah.
So it's not even just like Congress. It's the same individual people for this entire time. Yeah. It's been the same individuals.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, like, their minds don't what's the word? Like, they don't evolve. Like, mentally, when it comes to laws and things, like, they don't evolve, like...
Well, they're the lead paint generation. I don't think they can.
They don't become woke. They don't become, all of a sudden, like, super hardcore, loud, bold, like they just stay the same. And we don't need a generation of people that were born in the 60s who are not, willing to push things forward. Like again, it just doesn't make any sense to me. We're going forward into the future. I don't understand. I do understand why, but it's just infuriating. I don't know what else to say. I mean, Nancy Pelosi lobbying for Jerry Connolly, and then he died. And we could have had AOC. Like, right?
Yeah,
it's just.
And before anybody says, not all. It's not all boomers. We're not talking. No. It's just if the shoe fucking fits. It's one of those.
But keep in mind, it's like the word "not all boomers" implies that like there's a very small percentage. But they're not. The boomers are a massive population of they're a massive demographic, the largest generation in human history, mind you. So not all boomers is like it's a small selection of not all.
Yeah, and I don't,
I know a few cool ones.
I think people really need to figure out how to stop getting offended. Like if the shoe doesn't fit, you shouldn't be offended. It's the same thing when I talk about like white women and I do my spiels on, because that's basically what I talk about a lot is white women and our responsibility in things and how we are to blame for a lot of things and how we are responsible for a lot of the ick that's going on in this world as well. And I always get that one or two white women in my comments that say, well, not all white women, and stop generalizing all white women. And it's like, well, you know what? If the shoe fits, fucking wear it, because I'm talking about the majority. And, if it doesn't apply to you, it shouldn't offend you.
Exactly. I'm tired of putting a disclaimer on shit anymore. You know what I mean? Like, obviously I'm not ageist. I'm in my 40s. I'm not a spring chicken either, but it's just, for me, it's not the age, but usually with age comes, people who aren't willing to expand their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what just happened. Are you guys only seeing me?
Yeah, I maximized you. I'm learning things.
Okay. Like, why am I the only person here? Like with age comes, usually it's just you just kind of stay the same. So, there's progressive type, Democrats who are older who I still, even though I'm not happy with a lot of Elizabeth Warren's decisions lately, I think she needs to stay. I think we need people like her, but most people like her are just not her age. So for me, it's not an age thing. It's just your, mental standpoint and where you are as far as wanting to push things forward and where you are as far as like wanting to, just work for the people. And if you're working to keep things the way that they were or go back, like a James Clyburn or something, or whatever his name is, James Carville,
Carville.
not Clyburn. We just don't need those people. It has nothing to do with like the age. Like I don't have a cutoff. Like 80 years old, you shouldn't be in Congress. If you're in a wheelchair and you're in a hospital and you're in hospice or not able to function, like, yeah, you should not be in Congress. But that has nothing to do with your age. That just has to do with your capabilities and your you should not be in office.
Incapacitated.
Right. And I'm not.
If you were any other position, like a teacher or a lawyer or even
a doctor,
fast
cop,
food,
any other
you are not
servant.
working when you're in that state.
Right.
Exactly. But I do think that there should be term limits because I feel like we need fresh eyes every so often,
Yes.
I don't feel like Walter and I just interviewed a progressive grassroots candidate. Her name was Rachel Peace, and she's running in New Jersey. She's running against, so she won her primary and she's now going to the election, and she's running against somebody who's been there since 1981.
Wow.
Someone who's been there since 1981.
Wow.
New Jersey.
Yes.
Who is it? What?
His name is Chris Smith, I believe. Okay. And her name is Rachel Peace, and she's running against somebody he's been there since 1981. He doesn't even live in New Jersey. He lives in Virginia. I don't understand how this happens. Like, how does this shit happen? How does this keep why do we keep voting people like this in? The guy doesn't even live there. Because sore.
It's a name. It's a name. And when you have that name recognition, it's really, really, I feel like it's really hard to go against that, especially when you're an incumbent who's been there for years.
Term limit.
But even the term limits on their own the term limits on their own is important, but it's not just age. It's also like that the experience thing goes both ways, because on one hand, the boomers, like, they've been in power since the 80s, 60s beforehand. Because Joe Biden was elected Congress when he was 18.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But for the time period.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of even like Natasha, you're in your 40. That's like mid-millennial, I'm guessing. I'm 20. I'm 26. I think we're all like millennial, like Gen X and younger here. We're all Gen X and younger, and
Gen
I
X.
think Gen X exactly. And I think there is like a bit of a delay in taking power, and it's not solely just the older people refusing to give it up, but also there was this sense of learned helplessness. I think, and that's something I had to fight against for so much from life and among people my generation too, because there's no jump like, okay, when you turn 18, then you can go do your own thing, you can have your own car, you can have your independence. That's no longer the case anymore. Right. The age of you're going to be able to get a car insurance in order to get your actual car, that has been pushed back to 24, 26, 27. And even then, to get like affordable rates, mind you, to get affordable rates, so you can't even like pay your own car insurance without because between your age of 16 and 24, you're considered a new and reckless driver. You're still considered a kid. And I think while we have completely ignored the need for term limits this entire time, we've also kind of infantilized, one reason or another, like either comfort or otherwise, a lot of like Gen X and younger has been heavily infantilized and kind of delayed for our step to get this power that we've deserved. Honestly, the passing of the torch has been postponed for decades.
Yeah,
and I think that's why. Yeah, and when you don't routinely pass the torch and like invisibility, people will just forget. People will forget how these processes are supposed to work. They forget, and the state comptroller or the council member that actually runs these things, you look back and it's like, how long was this neglected for? Mm-hmm. Why is this guy still here?
Y'all see the comment that Summer said right there?
Oh yeah,
groups can think together, but this is really more of a group anti-think.
It's a collective forgetting.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
I think it's
for millennials too, because we grew up with one education system and we're seeing we watched it get dismantled our entire lives. Even then, when we had children, like I had my first child when I was 18 in 2001, and I watched even his education was much different than my education. By the time he got to high school, he didn't even have civics classes anymore.
Mhm.
You know, like it got just, and we watched it in real time. That's why when like we had kind of both worlds, we got to experience, you know,
Yeah, I feel you. I was born in
that
2000.
world, and then we were experiencing this world, and we're like, this is not what we envisioned when we were kids. We thought, you know, we were just going to keep going up and up and up, and we were going to progress, and we were going to, you know, the Jetsons were going to be real, you know?
Right.
Well, they are now.
I also got to see
I know.
with my nephews growing up, because I was involved a lot earlier in their life when my sister and her husband split. So I was watching them, and my sister had to pay things like locker fees and electives when they were in high school, and that wasn't a thing. I'm younger Gen X. That wasn't a thing. And my dad and mom had noticed how they had to pay for more things than parents had to, and that teachers had to when I was going to school. So it's been getting dismantled for a long time. And it's like, this is a public school. They shouldn't have been having to pay for electives or locker fees. It's
Wow.
ridiculous.
For summer camp, paying for lunches, paying for everything out of pocket. It was a slow progression, basically to roll back. I mean, that's basically what the Heritage Foundation's plan was from the get-go. It was to roll back every single reform, going all the way back to FDR's New Deal. It was to roll it back completely to the Gilded Age. That was the plan from the start. And they just tried that in the 80s, and they only got like a quarter of the way there. And now they're trying it again.
But once you give it,
Julie,
it's really hard to take it back. We don't we hold on to it, and it's really hard to take it back from us. And we got the education that was starting on that progressive route, and then it just tanked.
Julie Elder said, "I'm so disappointed to not have a flying car." And Kimmy asked,
Me too.
Tig, what game? Tamara asked, "What game that you like? Can you repeat it?"
Stardew Valley. That is the game.
Okay.
Stardew Valley is the name of the game. That is a big one I will recommend. It was like crazy enough. It was developed by like one single guy in a basement. That's how you know it's a really good game.
Mm-hmm. We still play Nintendo here. I asked for a Nintendo for my 40th birthday, and I told my husband, I was like, "You'll never find one. You'll never find a Nintendo." And sure shit, he got me a Nintendo for my 40th birthday.
Hooray for back market.
We love it. It's just that it's crazy because Duck Hunt is not capable with the new TVs. So I'd have to find a,
oh, damn.
Yeah. You got to play with the settings.
I have fun.
That works to use Duck Hunt because I was.
I haven't tried it yet. That's unfortunate. That makes me really sad.
No, wait. There is hope. What you need is
an Hogan Valley.
What you guys need is an emulator, so you can actually plug in those old school games, get like an emulator, and then you can play like on any monitor you want. That's how you do it.
Okay, I do have one, but okay. I also have like Nintendo, like the whatever, like all the games online, Donkey Kong Country 2 and
that was a hard
Donkey
one.
Kong Country 3 and all that.
I love the third one.
I still know the cheat code for Contra.
Oh,
I don't think I ever played Contra, but I do remember seeing the cheat code years ago.
Does anyone?
You could get the fireball gun immediately. That was that cheat code. Yeah.
That was like just something everybody memorized by heart, wasn't it? Like
yeah,
it was like something little tricks.
Down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Remember the original Nintendo, and they came out with this thing that you could attach to the cartridge for like cheat codes, and I don't remember what it was called, but I remember on New Year's Eve that we rented it from the video store, and we plugged in our like 8-bit cartridges and played with different games. I can't remember what it was called, but it basically let you use cheat codes in the games, and there was one in like the regular Mario Brothers where you could moonwalk. It was basically when Mario jumped, he just like keeps jumping in the air. It was so cool, but I don't remember what the heck. I think it was like the Game Shark or something like that.
The Game Shark.
Okay.
I
remember hearing that.
Familiar.
I never used it though. I didn't know that's what it was for.
Yeah, but honestly, I think this is why like something is really, really important because like what I said earlier is that there is this mass forgetting of not just how things were done in the past, but also like how things are now. I think that like that's they use a metaphor like video game emulators. You can have a bridge and make a new experience based on things we know from the past that work, and also present day technology that also works. And I think this whole there's a whole you have people my age that are becoming Luddites, and that scares the crap out of me. And that scares the crap out of me because, like, oh, we're just rejecting technology altogether. No, that's not good. But also, it's like too much cyberpunk is not great either, and that is like honestly really, really horrible stuff because Palantir is just, ugh. But even so,
I've got younger kids, and I've noticed that they're starting to want to go more analog as well.
yeah,
they love the old stuff, and they even like the old movies. And some of them, you know, if you look back, like we watched Aliens in the Attic the other day, and it was so corny, and Little Monsters, so corny. But my kids loved it. They love those old movies.
I love that.
Oh my god, yeah. I mean, I've been rewatching a lot of old cartoons. I've been rewatching Steven Universe. Have you guys ever heard of that one? With my dad.
Yes.
One of the best masterpieces of animation I have ever seen in my life. That show got me through so much. I am so happy about it.
Aww.
I watched a good deal of it before I moved to China, and my friend Susan that I met there, she knew the theme song. She's 10 years older than me, so she's elder Gen X. And I'm like, that is so awesome. You know, she had her daughter, Athena, turned 17 while we were there. And I thought it was so awesome that she was a parent like that would watch those shows with her.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm all
remember the song?
I love stuff. I'll rewatch the old stuff with my kids any day.
Same.
I'm not into the new stuff. And my 25-year-old is really into anime, and I've tried so hard to get into anime, and I just can't get into it. I don't know why. It's like my brain is on elder millennial.
Yeah, same.
Do you guys need recommendations? I got recommendations, honestly.
Well, they're bringing some of the classics like Spirited Away and stuff to the movies this summer, so you can see like Princess Mononoke and stuff. I don't know if I've watched them before, but yeah, I know, like, I wish I could get into it too. Like, so many people love anime, and I'm like, I know there's something there. I used to watch Superbook when I was like little. That's like Christian.
I liked Avatar, The Last Airbender, and The Legend of Korra. I think it was on Nickelodeon, but so much of the content was mature.
Yeah.
And there's you see a lot in the plot that has a lot in common with right now.
Yeah.
You know, the authoritarianism and some of the Big Brother elements, you know, like Bossing saying Bossing saying has never been at war. So how did it go?
There is no war in Bossing Say.
That's it. Yeah.
That is the euphemism we're using for pretty much any time you have like there is no war in Iran. Oh, right. And there is no war in Bossing Say. Sure.
Okay.
That's where that term is coming from, essentially, because it's relevant and it makes sense. That's the whole point. I mean, Avatar: The Last Airbender was one of the it was a masterpiece of media for a reason. It's like along the same lines, I'd say, as like any other like it should be studied in like future film schools. It's currently being studied in film schools right now, and there's a good reason for that, because a lot of the material, even like in like old school animation, like from the 2000s and the 2010s, is that the writers behind these shows knew they didn't patronize their audience. They knew it was kids, but they also knew it was preteens, young adults, and their parents who watch these shows along with them. If you have like a good show, like a really well done show, it's something that everyone can take away from. Like a masterpiece is a piece of media that anyone who watches it can take something away and feel something from it.
Yeah. One thing that really struck me when I was living in China is how much we, like even pre-Trump, had in common with China in terms of authoritarianism. Like it's still more over there, you know, it was still more extreme and pronounced over there, but there was so much that we had in common, like more than I had thought. And that gave me some like insight when I was back here and watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. And I thought about things like when I was first in China, we saw this anime that like the school, they did movie nights every now and then where all the school would go to the theater. And we saw Isle of Dog,
Isle of Dog. Oh my God, one of Wes Anderson's films.
And
yes.
it was so Orwellian. And I was like, how did this get past the censors in China? They did not censor it. It was showing in the theaters. That's where we were.
Because people always overlook animation as a medium. They just assume it's for kids, and therefore like animation is for kids, and therefore it's not worth our time.
But Coco almost didn't. The Disney film Coco almost didn't make it past the censors because they have like this death theme, like talking about death over there or having subjects on that is fairly taboo. But they decided to go ahead and prove it because it was touching.
Yeah. It was a beautiful story, and I think that's all. And also, like, there's a whole backlash against DreamWorks Studios because Kung Fu Panda, an American film, did better in China than it did over here, and that is craziness. Because, like, in Chinese media, there's you have to be perfect. There is a certain kind of protagonist that they have. It's like flawless, sheen hair, flowing in the wind, like glossy skin, the whole 9 yards. But like. A Po, like the panda protagonist, none of that. And I think that's why it did well. It did a lot better because people were able to relate to a character that was by all means not perfect, and that was the allure behind it. It was that paradox that came into play, and that's honestly why Kung Fu Panda did a lot better in China than it did here. Not just because of that, but also like the writers went out of their way to ensure that it was very much akin to the source material. The animals there, the art style, all of it. It was even like the choreography for like the fight scenes in the animation. They studied like actual martial artists. Same thing with the Avatar: The Last Airbender. They studied like the actual martial artists who perform these professionally to animate the characters in the fight scenes. And that's an important thing to recognize, and people respond to that.
Okay, I'm going to paste another question answered by Summer. I think it's a great one. It's actually a two-part. Can you see it?
Yes.
Oh yes. Summer asks, do any of you believe that this will provide a roadmap to how to fix the weaknesses in the system? This is the path that must be walked to get stronger. Yes. I think that's a pretty solid question because like fixing the weaknesses in the system is one thing, but it's not just weaknesses. It's the foundation itself is very much well into the decomposing phase. It's been decomposing for over 20 years.
I mean,
what do you think, Natasha?
Yeah.
We haven't focused on anything in the past 20 years. We haven't focused on infrastructure. We haven't focused on serious things. And, Tig, to go back to your point, I feel like what's happened here is that Americans have gotten comfortable and complacent with just allowing, our city council members, our congressmen, senators, whatever, to take over and, take control of things. Like they're the ones in power. So we just leave everything to them. And if we hear a name who has more recognition, that's the name that people go to vote because that's what they're used to. Like people have become lazy. And I struggle personally with blaming them for that because I know part of it is the indoctrination. Like the CIA, I go back to that a lot, but the CIA was established back in 1947 and they started brainwashing and propagandizing like from the jump. Like that was the whole premise. And that's what they're doing now is trying to, if you've read 1984, they're trying to somatize us. They're trying to dumb us down. We have AI, which is causing us to rely on things to even for editing. And I use it for editing. I don't use it for writing, but just the fact that it's there, the fact that we're relying on these things, right, instead of using our brain. I heard somebody say today that using AI can actually cause early onset like dementia or things like that. I don't know if that's true, but
no, it is.
Thinking about it, it makes
AI,
sense.
you're not slapping neurons together, and you're going to get more gray matter in your brain, and the more gray matter, the more susceptible you are to.
Yeah, it's basically gray matter is the less dense neurons to get put together. But white matter, if you have more white matter in the brain, that's like more concentrated connections. Like gray matter is just loose neurons, but white matter is densely connected, well-connected neurons together.
So, Evie, what do you think we could do to inoculate ourselves against that? Like fixing, for ourselves, right? The kind of propaganda and doublespeak that's designed to gaslight us and brainwash us? What do you think the everyday person could do?
I think that this is not in the DSM. It's not real. It's not anything, but I think that it should be. But there's a kind of intelligence called, what I like to say, traumatic intelligence. And I think now that everybody is starting to experience some level of trauma in this country, it's training our brains to recognize things and to see things for what they are. And, you know, like I remember when I was on TikTok a few years ago, there was a huge, I mean, for like every video you saw was on how to recognize gaslighting. And I really honestly think that these videos get in these algorithms because they're preparing us for what's to come. They're, you know, like people are really trying to push, hey, if you see this, if you hear this, that's gaslighting. And we do see it a lot. And because I had, you know, my whole life has been one traumatic event after another. In my adulthood, I can recognize these things fairly quickly. And I can, you know, if my gut, if my nervous system is, if the alarm bells are ringing, I don't give it a second chance. I dip. I kick that shit out the airlock and no questions asked, and I'm done. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to give it another second thought, nothing. And that goes for people in my life too. It's just, if I catch wind that a familiar behavior or behavior or you know, action that someone's doing or language that they're using, that's a big one. And we see that a lot, and people are falling for it with certain people, especially these Republicans, these MAGA Republicans, now Democrats. When we're seeing the same language, the same manipulative language and the same actions that they're doing and the same grifts, just different markets and rebranding things. And, you know, we start to see those patterns. Patterns don't lie, y'all. Yeah. Patterns don't lie. And y'all have got to stop telling yourselves it's not what you think. Don't believe your lying eyes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, both parties have told us to reject the evidence of our eyes and ears now.
Yes,
not just one.
You're absolutely correct.
Both parties have absolutely done that, and we're at the point now where if all of us don't grab our sovereignty back, we're going to lose it for good.
Yep.
You know, we are all sovereign beings, and it's like we have to earn our place in this life. Like, motherfucker, I was born. I didn't ask to be born. But now I fight my whole life to live, you know, like that doesn't make sense. And these billionaires and these people that are in power, they're going to take, and they're going to do it slow until the next thing you know, you look around and you've got nothing. You know, there's people right now, like my son, he just had to move in with me. He's 25 years old. He moved out when he was 19 for college, and then decided he wanted to go to California and live with some roommates. And then, you know, things got expensive there. And then it got to a point where things got so expensive for him, he was not thriving. He was working, sleeping. He had no life, and he was depressed. And I went and visited him out in California, and I took one look at him and I said, I want you to come home. I don't even care. I want you to come home. Yeah. And he came home, and he's been with me now, and he's finally thriving. Like he's finally smiling, and he's got color back in his skin, and the bags are gone under his eyes. And, you know, he's able to relax his nervous system a little bit, because that is extremely stressful when you are one doctor's visit away or one car accident away from homelessness, or, you know, not being able to pay your bills like that, or put a meal on your table. And that's where these kids are right now. They're not thriving. Yeah. So we have to, this is the frog in the boiling water scenario. And it started when we were young, and now our kids are suffering for it because now the water's fucking boiling.
And actually a little bit before we were born even.
Yeah. So I think right now we have to stop telling ourselves we're not seeing what we're seeing.
Right.
You know, and call it out. Use Use the language. We have the language now, everybody. We
Yes.
have the language now. If it's a white supremacist bullshit, say it's white supremacist bullshit.
If it's Nazi.
And honestly, I always say America is the house that white supremacy built. Every single system we have in this country was built off of white supremacy ideology. We need to stop it. You know, rape culture is insanely out of control. When the whole online rape academy was brought to light, I was just like, what are we doing? The fact that we've got, child rapists in leadership.
Yeah.
And
in the open.
In
the open. Uncloseted in the open.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean,
Gates is back.
Honestly, if you are a child rapist and you go to jail, that's where you die. Yeah. I don't care. That is the worst crime I think that can ever be committed, is raping a baby, for God's sakes. And I feel like you go to prison and you fucking die there. I don't even care.
Sexual assault of any kind.
You don't get to
children, especially.
Yeah. Right, with rape culture, with women as well, and there are women that, are rapists too. They have sex with children as well. I'm just saying that rape culture as a whole, I think we really need to get a control on that, because believe survivors, especially women who have been raped, and the fact that, a lot of women, like when I was younger, we were silenced. I grew up in religious patriarchy, so women didn't have a voice at all. We were second in command in the house and the head of the household. If he was the rapist, or if, he was doing the bad things, women were not allowed to speak. And if we did speak, we got beat, or we got, raped ourselves, or we got thrown out with our children and we're homeless. And, it's just the silencing techniques were incredible. But I'm not my mama and I'm not my grandmama. I am a loudmouth.
Thank goodness for you.
Exactly. Yeah.
We got the language for this, so we need to speak up, and we need to advocate too when we see that women are in trouble and they need, you can tell when a woman's being silenced, and you can tell that they need help, and you don't say anything to advocate for that woman. You're part of the fucking problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women of many different age groups that have been conditioned to become ravens for the wolves.
Yeah.
You either feed the beast or you get fed to it. And there is a third option, and that is becoming a hunter. Just killing it. Just kill the freaking wolf. Yeah. There is no reason for this.
Or divorce it.
Divorce it.
What happens when we're not afraid anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've walked through hell already. I'll go back for vacation. Like, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid of a man. I'm not afraid of, when it comes to doing the right thing, I know what the right thing is. And it's like, come for me.
Yeah.
And I think it's also like this obsession with maintaining maintaining white supremacy above all else. It does not serve anyone. Nobody. It doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve the men who claimed it serves the most. It serves no one.
The men.
I mean, like, historically, like, this goes all the way back to slavery. Slavery was, in hindsight, a long thousand year hindsight, economically based on its own. But once the technology was there to replace that labor, there was no reason for it. That's why the British outlawed it, because not only was it barbaric, but it wasn't economically viable either. It cost more money to abuse other human beings than the money that was supposed to be justifying the abuse.
Yeah.
That's what the British did. The British had none of it. Yeah. After that whole horrific insurance case, like those two, like, seamen. Okay. They were like, that's the term in question. They were men who went to sea, who worked on the sea. They threw 300 enslaved African human beings overboard as an insurance scam to
Yeah.
claim the insurance on the cargo.
Mm-hmm.
That was a catalyst for the British. Like, yeah, there is no reason for this, and it costs more money to actually uphold it, and it's also fucking barbaric and disgusting.
Yeah.
And yet the
We're
United States
reaching-
held on to it. The United States, especially the Confederacy, they formed and seceded from the United States the moment Abraham Lincoln was elected president and Buchanan was out of office. And the moment that happened, it's like, oh no, we are not. We're holding on to our slaves regardless. Most people, there was no money there. The technology was there to maintain the cotton industry, the agricultural industry, without slaves. There was no reason to maintain it. It was just cruelty for the sake of cruelty. And I think it's something that we need to address. That there is no tangible benefit to this. And there is none. There is no logic. There is no plan. Regardless whether it's Hegseth or otherwise, RFK or otherwise, they are doing this because they wrap their identity around cruelty. When the means of oppression becomes facets of one's identity, you will die to protect it, even if it solves nothing.
Yeah, and this is not a red and blue thing. This is a rich and not rich. It's like the line has been drawn in the sand, and you need to pick a side. Are you with the rich billionaires, or are you with the people?
Okay,
I feel like
we're at
that's
the top of the hour here. We've got about 5 minutes, and then
Yeah.
we're going to start conflicting with Glenn Kirshner. And a lot of the people in our chats, part of the reason we moved times was so that they could see us and Glenn. So we're unfortunately going to have to wrap it up, but maybe we could do another part soon. That would be like pretty awesome.
I would love that.
One thing we like to do now is a newer thing is everybody shares a moment of joy so that we can end on a high note. And I'll go ahead and start. I don't know how to move this banner here. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. So Substack friend Lisa Joy sent me this rabbit gift. I had she crocheted this. I think it's called orumagami.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like origami for crochet.
It's
It's really
I
cool.
love the little
Yeah, and this is a type of rabbit that's or after a type of rabbit that lives in my area. It's the bush rabbit.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
My dad, I had commissioned her to make a realistic looking one for my dad for Father's Day, and she sent me this extra thing as a gift to me.
Aw, that was
cute.
nice.
Yeah. So that's my moment of joy. It's like this really kind gesture. You know, she knew that I like really squeed over the ones that she showed us. This came from her. It started off as like her emotional support chicken eggs, and she was making eggs for her granddaughter. And then she decided to like make these little cute bunny things. But so Tig, why don't you go next?
Okay, my moment of joy, something that made me smile. The nice Puerto Rican lady who worked at the church next door called me Papi. That made me smile.
That's really affirming.
that made me smile.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. But also another moment of joy thing. What was it again? Oh my god, I think I might have like cracked something really important like invention wise, because I'm working with my advisor to get this patented by the end of the year. And in terms of power, because I'm just gonna say it flat out, I may have accidentally invented the world's first saltwater battery.
No shit. Congratulations.
I'm not entirely sure, but we're working on the process, and hopefully, but in another couple of months, I get the prototype up and running. Because once I have that, then I will basically have I'll have the means and materials I need to make a synthetic spinal cord, and thus the Doc Ock arms I've been trying to make for months.
Doc Ock.
Really?
Yes, Dr. Optimus arms. I will become a superhero actuarial consultant. That's the whole thing I'm doing for my career.
I love that.
Because I'm going to be it's basically the Sherlock Holmes of the corporate world, and I'm going to be doing it. I'm going to be doing it in style, Batman and shit.
That is really exciting. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay,
Awesome.
how about you, Evie?
Moment of joy. I really wish I would have had this question not coming off the week after I put my house up for sale.
Oh,
Then
sorry.
It's been just a hell week. Like I was telling Natasha before we got on this call, I'm like, man, I am broke. I am broke. We had to put so much money into this house just to get it on the market. But I think my moment of joy really is my garden. I went out today and I've got big old fat grapes on the vine now. I've got flowers everywhere. I've got bumblebees and butterflies everywhere. And I always have a moment of joy when I go out there and I just sit there and I kind of get entranced in it all. Just having the bees and the butterflies and the hummingbird that zooms by my head all the time.
And now you gotta buy some more. Now you gotta buy some fermenting kits so you can make your own house-made mead or house-made wine.
We got a minute left, so let's let Natasha share her moment of joy before we close.
Sure. My moment of joy this week. I was Legislative Hall. I was there like half the week this week because Delaware was legislating things. But I actually coincidentally ran into a couple of people that I worked with on the Harris campaign, and I hadn't seen them in a really long time, and it was so nice to catch up with them. It kind of felt like a mini reunion, even though it was just two of them, but like, it was just so nice. I got to meet new people. They introduced me to new people there, that work like with all the senators and stuff. So, it was also good because like I'm learning more and seeing who I have ins with and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a super busy week, but I was really, really happy to run into my old friends. So
Yay.
That's awesome. All right, Evie, where can people find you?
You can find me you can find me on other socials, but I am not active on the other socials. Every once in a while, I post something on Blue Sky or Instagram, but it's AEV Bateman on everything. And Substack is kind of where I'm most active when I'm not submitting articles to the Sun magazine and all that stuff. So.
Okay, awesome. And how about you, Natasha?
You can find me at Truth She Wrote here on Substack, though I haven't been posting or anything recently. I'm hoping to get back into it. I've just been really busy, but I'm spending a lot of my time on Threads lately, actually. So I'm on Threads at Koof, Koof. And yeah, I'm on Instagram at Koof too, but mostly most of the political stuff I post is here on Substack. So truthshewrote.com is how you can find me.
All right, thank you very much. All right. Well, you ladies have been wonderful. Thank you for coming onto our show. We'd love to have you back sometime.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I hope we get to continue this discussion because it was really good.
Yeah, sometimes these live streams are just too short. They go too fast.
I know.
It's been an hour already. I was just like, where did it go?
No, it's so fast. All right. Well, thanks for coming, and I hope everybody has a good Sunday evening. And if you can catch Glenn Kirshner, he does wonderful live streams. I found a wonderful live streamer called Mediocre Mama who's on Monday and Thursday evenings for Midnight Cafe, which is UK time, midnight UK time. So for me, it's like 4 p.m. For the East Coast, it's 7. And she is wonderful, and she even got to host Glenn once.
Oh,
so I hope you can catch her. Mediocre Mama, she's great, and you could get caught up on some of the current events. She really likes to focus on U.S. stuff, and then on Thursday she has Summer Whelan, who's been in our chats, and Laura Not Loomer. And at the end of the episode, they could put naughty people in this handmade volcano.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it's so great. I love it. And if you want to tune in and catch up on some current events and not feel like doom, that's a great live stream to check out.
Nice.
Really fun.
Thanks for coming, everyone. Bye, chat.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Bye,
Have
everybody.
a good night. All right. Bye-bye. I got to click end somehow.